Hello, I'm Oscar from Emotion Systems, and today we're going to be looking at the latest version of F, and we're going to be doing a loudness analysis and correction of a 5.1 stereo file. 8.2.4 up here is the latest version of F as of the 18th of August 2021. F is a loudness compliance tool which can be used with MOV, MXF, WAV, AIF files. It's also compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux systems. Today I'm going to be using a MOV file, and we're going to be creating our own profile for that. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go to the settings tab and have a look at the measurement section here and see what we want. See if F has already got the parameter you need in there. For instance, if we go to Australia, OP59 will come up automatically, and that might be, if you're an Australian broadcaster, that might be just what you need. But we're going to make our own. So R128. And we can look here, we've got the LUFS units here. It would change to LKFS if we're in America or elsewhere, Japan. We can change the program loudness. So we've got -23 here. I could make that -27 if I needed that. But we'll leave it at -23. And we can also change the tolerance as well. We can also do the loudness range as well as the PPM settings. And if we need to do PPM, we can select what type of PPM scale we need. We can do sample peak as well as true peak as well. So I'm going to go to the corrections tab, and typically just for a loudness check, we will, and correction, we would want to correct the program loudness and the true peak. So they're the two options we've got selected. Had I selected to adjust the loudness range setting, then that would be an option for us to correct that as well. In the channel layout section, we can select what we want. Since I'm using a 5.1 in stereo, I will stick to the default settings. But for instance, if you had 4 stereo pairs in your 8-channel file and you didn't want to correct stereo 3, that's available here. You might not want to correct it, for instance, because it could be music and effects channel. So anyway, I'll go back to the default setting. Before we move on further, we're going to want to rename our profile. So I'll call this one test profile. I'm going to save the settings here. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is we want to select a destination as well. I will need to make a new folder. I previously had a folder called test destination, so I'm just going to make that one again. I'm going to use that. And the reports can also go to test destination as well. We can select if we want to load the corrected file back in after we do it, just so we can see on the graphic display what that corrected file looks like. So I will choose to do that. And the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to select the file. So I'll go back to my desktop and I'll have the file here. So you can see the files loaded in is 5.1 with occupying 6 audio channels. And then the 7th stream of audio will be 2 channels because it's a stereo file. Now we're going to analyze it. And we can see the analysis taking place over here on the bottom right. And now we've loaded the file in, we can see there needs to be some correction taking place because we're obviously out, and that will be loudness for the 5.1. See, we can tell here that we're out by a whole dB on the loudness scale. So we want it to be at -23 like I had set on my profile, but we're hitting -22. And that's the same for the stereo as well, which we can select over here through these tabs. So if we want to correct the file now, we'll click the button and we'll start correcting it. Because we've chosen to load it back in, it's now loading in the file we've just made, and we're also analyzing that as well. So now we can see the 5.1 does not require correction, neither does the stereo, and we can see that on the graphs down here. But that is also showing in the graphs that will be made on your report if you've chosen to select those as well. I hope that's been helpful, and if you have any more questions about F or Engine, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much.